Testing. Hello, people. Let me just make sure today things are plugged in properly because, yeah, yesterday we did a little quick stream and had a stinker in terms of I didn't even connect the mic. But I think, yeah, I'm looking now. Sounds good. Looks like it sounds good. Any issues, guys? Let me know, obviously, in the chat in terms of any issues. But yeah, man, welcome, of course, to the Arsenal another live stream. Starting to get some of more of these in. Obviously, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as always, does help the channel grow. And yeah, we've got a lot to cover today. Today is, we've been talking about Gyokeres, Sesko. Are we even going to sign a striker? What's going on? Are we getting a winger? And today we have some big news coming out. So yeah, guys, make sure to get ready for this one. But yeah, man, let's just get straight into it. Let's not waste too much time talking about all of this. But yeah, let's just get straight into it, as I said. So yeah, I need to figure out how to turn that off, man, before I come on. But anyway, yeah, so first of all, first news of the day, as you guys can see here from Fabrizio Romano himself. He does say here, understand Arsenal have started moving initial concrete talks for Benjamin Sesko deal. He's always been high on recruitment team management. Mikel Arteta list with attempts to get deal done rejected by Leipzig in May, 2024 and January. So yeah, obviously he's trying to say that Arsenal have been after Sesko for a long time. It's a name that Arsenal have been chasing, for a really long time. But it begs the question, Arsenal Football Club, if we knew, in January that Sesko was going to be the target, we're not going to be going for an Isaac, or we're not going to go now for a Gyokeres, someone who, who's got the numbers, who looks ready. He looks like he's, doesn't need much development. That was the player that we were going to go. We were going to go get. We couldn't get him in January. I'd understand that a little bit, but someone like Sesko, and no, I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way. Don't get me wrong, because I think Benjamin Sesko, I look at him, raw attributes, raw materials, 100%. I see why teams like him. I see why teams like his potential. I think I've got a comp. I don't know if we're allowed to play it. I'll try to be cheeky with it. I might play a little comp and you see what Sesko's about, and we'll look at how he's moving. He's very athletic. Arteta, you can imagine it already. Bukayo Saka cuts in, back stick, it's Sesko. I can see Sesko and Havertz playing together, trying to play basketball, not football. Those are the kind of things I can see us doing now with someone like Sesko coming into the team. But as I said, for me, like, it gets frustrating to the point where, you're a fan. As I said, don't forget this season, the season previous where we got knocked out by Bayern, and the reports are coming out, linked with Elise, linked with Isaac. You're getting linked with players who, yeah, they're ready. If you sign these players, boom, you're going to go to that next level, right? But then you are willing to play Marino, a midfielder who we signed him to be a midfielder, but he's actually better up front, but you signed him to be a midfielder. You signed him to play in midfield. He ends up playing up front because we've got no strikers. The situation in January is dire. We need reinforcements. You delay getting reinforcements. You basically write off the season. There's no title challenge, with that squad that we had in January. There's no Champions League campaign in the end, getting to the final. We couldn't do it, right? Because we just don't have the quality up front compared to a PSG where they signed a Kvaratskhelia in January. They've got Dembele, they've got Barcola, they've got Gonzalo Ramos. They've got all of these players who are absolutely on fire. Desiree Doué, I can name them. They've got so many. But Arsenal Football Club, you knew all of this in January, and you didn't bring anyone in. So for me, for me as a fan, it is very disappointing to see that the club was willing to write off a season, and then in the summer, you're not even going to sign someone who you couldn't really sign in January. Like, if we really wanted to sign Sesko in January, I'm pretty sure we could have got that deal done. But listen, Arsenal Football Club, it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? Like, Mikel Arteta, this is another thing though. The good thing about this, right? Arteta with Benjamin Sesko, there's just no more excuses, guys. There's no more excuses. We can't be sitting here today, tomorrow, whenever Sesko signs next week, whatever, right? If he still keeps on moving, Sesko comes into the team, Zubimendi comes into the team, let's see if we get the winger that Arteta wants as well. Every time, right, we do these transfers, like, if you look at it deep down, Arteta has got a lot of his players. Most of the time, Calafiori was a player that Arteta wanted. The club, even when we signed Calafiori, they were saying, bro, do we really need another defender? You know, they're like, no, Arteta's like, no, no, we have to get Calafiori in. You know, we have to bring in these players. So Arteta again, he's getting his way. Andrea Berta's come in. I'm thinking Andrea Berta, finally. You know, we've got a director of football who's gonna really push the needle. He's gonna get his way. But again, Mikel Arteta, his power is very much entrenched in the team. But as I said, the one positive from this, we cannot. There's no excuses, man. Let me look at the comments quickly, man. Ahmed, my guy, big up as always. Good evening. Yeah, man. Good evening to you as well, man. Listen. Dark times when we had Emery, man. But you know what? I never thought Arsenal still be having me rattled at this point. Years down with Arteta, like, I'll still be rattled like I was when Emery was in charge. But you know what it is. As I said, like, this is Arsenal Football Club. I said it like, let me put up the big screen, man. Let me put up the big screen for now. But as I said it before, like, Arsenal Football Club, like a serious football club. They signed Gyokeres, in my opinion. Like a serious football club that doesn't care about potential, and they just want the ready-made player. They want the player that's gonna come in, bang. You know, let's see what we do now. Are we gonna go for a winger? Are we gonna go for a top winger? And then when you talk about winger options, right? I don't know. There's Rodrigo. He's potentially available from Real Madrid. We're obviously talking about Rafael Leao, another player potentially available. But even in the left wing market, there's not many players that excite me. Maybe if you go and get like a hybrid type, like an Eze or a Xavi Simons, maybe someone could potentially play on the left wing, but also can play in midfield. Maybe you bring someone like that in. But even if you brought someone like that in, as I said, we probably would need that winger. And Mbeumo's available, obviously plays on Saka's side. So there's always going to be that debate. Listen, for me, we need squad depth anyway. I'll do the Mbeumo thing, but it doesn't look like we're even interested in him. But again, with Arsenal Football Club, right? It's hard to be excited, even if Sesko. As I said, I actually rate him. We're gonna look at, we'll look at the comp. I don't care. We'll look at the comp. I'll turn down the volume. Hopefully, bit of movement ain't gonna do anything to the video, but it's just Arsenal Football Club at this point. Honestly, it is really just an Arsenal thing. Sammy says here, Arsenal need real players, man. Bro, honestly, like we do. Like, if I take it back, let me just read again what Fabrizio was saying here. Because even obviously it's just I try to find different pieces as well on the Sesko news why we really want him. But obviously, going back to that one sentence, obviously he's put in, May 2024 and January, Arsenal looking for Sesko. Right? For me, this is the thing that's just irking. It's just like the Watkins thing in January as well. You're chasing a player, you know about them for months, you know about them for years, you're looking at them, you think they can help the team. But at the end of the day, like, you're happily sacrificing the whole season, and then in the end, you're just gonna get someone that you could have got last year. You could have got him months ago. Like, if we have Sesko up front against PSG, potentially we're in a better position, right? It's better than having Marino up front, right? So if you really believe Sesko was that guy and you signed him in January, honestly, I think fans would have been happy. Fans would have been happy if we saw Sesko coming in January. But you bring him now in the summer after another disappointing season. We haven't won anything. We're screaming, listen, bring in players that are going to help us win now. We're talking about Sesko. I'm going to get a tactics board up as well, 100%. I'm going to get a tactics board up as well, because some of the nasty tactics because I put myself in Arteta's brain, but some of the nasty tactics that I've got in my brain now that Sesko's in the team that we're going to have to watch, it's not going to be pleasant on the eye, guys. We're not going to be watching, we haven't been watching nice liquid football anyway, but next season now, Havertz, if he's fit for the whole season, if Sesko is fit for the whole season, I'm telling you, some of the football we're going to watch, it might be very, very disturbing. Very disturbing. We're going to be, set piece FC, but it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even worse next season. But man, honestly, Benjamin Sesko, we'll come back to him in a bit. As I said, I'll just talk about Gabriel now, because as I said, we're going to do the tactics board. We'll do the little comp of Sesko. Watch that as well. But Arsenal Football Club, man, it's a dangerous team to support. I tell you that for free, man. I tell you that for free. But yeah, guys, very quickly as well, let's have a look here. Gabriel news coming in to the club. They're smart, you know what they do. They hit you with one news, then they hit you with another to cover up the other one. So they got tactics with it. Don't think they don't know what they're doing, because these contracts like Gabriel and all of these sort of players. Let me see, did I put it up properly? Give me a second, guys. Which one did I put up here? It should just move. Unless I've done something wrong. Give me a second, guys. Let me know if you can see the Gabriel thing. I don't think you can. Unless I've got two different ones. Yeah, I knew it. I've got two different links. Anyway, there we go. So, Arsenal on the verge of reaching an agreement with Gabriel Magalhães over a long-term deal. Obviously, this was reported not by Fabrizio, it was reported by Sami Mokbel at BBC. And apparently the deal is going to be until June 2030. So, listen, no one will ever complain about Gabriel Magalhães, at the club. Gabriel Magalhães, that's our guy. You know what I mean? That's our guy. And I'm very happy that Arsenal Football Club, that we're going in this direction of keeping someone like Gabriel, because there was a lot of rumours early on in the season, remember, where he was linked with the likes of, who was he linked with? He was linked with the Saudi teams, and then he was put on the bench, and there was all sort of chaos about Gabriel. Oh, is he going to stay at Arsenal? Is he not going to stay at Arsenal? But honestly, if there's anyone that actually deserves praise at this football club, it is Gabriel Magalhães. If it wasn't for his injury, he probably would have been player of the season. Obviously for me, I think, did they announce it in the end? I don't even know. I'm locked out because we didn't win the trophy. My head was gone in the season, so I don't even know if they announced player of the season. I'm assuming it was Declan Rice in the end. But if it wasn't Declan Rice and Gabriel was fit the whole season, it would have been him. It would have been Gabriel, man. So yeah, I'm happy to see him stay. And this is why it's funny. Why are we linked with the likes of Howson and future-proofing the defense when we need different? We need proper quality up front. You know what I mean? So again, Arsenal Football Club. I even read something recently saying we're still looking for another centre back. How many centre backs do we need? We've already got Gabriel. We've got Saliba, Calafiori, Ben White. The Timbers can play in there. Tomiyasu can play in there. Kiwior's in there. There's so many guys who can play in that centre back position. But yeah, 100% happy to see Gabriel stay. But the club, what they do. The club are smart with it. They're not here. They know exactly what they're doing. They give us a little Sesko. They know some fans will be happy. Some fans are going to be like me, thinking why you wasted a whole season and you could have signed this guy earlier, and then come summer now you just sign the guy you could have signed before. Come on, it doesn't make any sense. But they hit me with the Gabriel stuff because Gabriel, I think, universally liked by every Arsenal fan. No one's going to say, why is he staying? We're going to say we need him to stay. So yeah, there's only a few players I put in that category for Arsenal. The Rices, the Sakas, Saliba, and of course Gabriel, man. Main man of that defense for me. Absolute machine. So yeah, absolute love the guy. So yeah, happy to see him stay. But yeah, guys, man, let's move on because I know exactly what I did now. But yeah, we'll put it up to this little should we do the little comp? I don't know, man. I can't really be too excited. But let me get this up for you guys because I want to do this. I want to do this right now with everyone here who's watching live, the tactics board. So let me get this up. I'm excited for this one. So boom. You should see this, yeah. So this Arsenal team. Let's do this. This is where things get interesting. How is Sesko gonna fit into our team? Right? So let's do our little formation. Let's get the players up here. 4 at the back for now. All looking confusing. Can I turn off the numbers, man? Anyway, I can't remember. I was using this all the time before. I think there's definitely a way to take off the numbers, man. Just because I've got when you even have, if anyone plays like Football Manager and stuff, right? And you have the numbers of the players, and you want to make it 1 to 11 proper. Obviously, right now it's looking a bit class, but no worries. I'll switch it around. You have your number 2 there. I'll just do it like this. Do it like this for now. I could go in there, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll just do this for free. Number 6. In Europe. Is it Europe or South America? I think it's Europe, and it's only England. The 6 is here. I don't know what other countries have 6 as a DM, because in other countries they do 5 like that as a DM. So obviously even at Arsenal now we have number 5 here, and we have Gabriel here 6. So you know what? You guys want from me, man? I'll put in ads in my face. Anyway, we'll just do it like this for now. So let's just add a couple more, man. We're going to end up moving them forward anyway. Make the numbers, yeah, they're giving me a headache. There must be a way for me to turn the numbers off, man. Let me have a look. Surely there's a way to turn off these numbers. If I right click, oh, there we go. Get these numbers out of here for now. It's annoying. We'll do the numbers later, man. I'm sorry, this is me. This is my brain. Like, I know other people like, what's the problem? Why don't you want? Why do you care about the numbers? They're just annoying me. That's the truth. They're just annoying me. So yeah, let me just get rid of these, and then we can finish off the team. So, bang, and then we'll have. Obviously, let's just do that for now. Get rid of this number as well. Get the striker up here. I'm going to end up moving these all forward in a second. Let's do this. These guys really pushing the ads on me, man. You ain't reading all of that, my guy. Listen, tactical board. You want to shout out? Anyone want to have a go at this? Like, have fun. Yeah, but we're not shouting you out right now. So let me just move everyone a bit forward. So, in general, right? I'm going to add the names and that and all of that. Let's just do it like this for now. Let's just, we're attacking. Let's just say we're attacking, right? Normally, obviously, the way we'll do it normally, Arsenal Football Club, right? You have the two centre backs. Let's just put them on the halfway line. And then the left 8 in theory is meant to be doing all of this and that, right? And Arteta ball. Martinelli he's dying over here on the left wing. You know, Odegaard and Saka. Odegaard's always holding his hand. He's doing all of this. You know, you got the wing back running up and down here a lot of the time. You got the left back inverting to Skelly. You know, this is normally how we play, right? Normally Arsenal, you know, they're doing something like this. Let's say he's trying to cut inside, and then Timber or Ben White normally really good with the overlaps. He's here, you know, and then sometimes Martinelli loves going down the outside, cutting it in, all of that sort of stuff, yeah. So normally that's how we would play. So if we're gonna play that way, to be fair, let me just move everyone a little bit more back so it just looks a bit normal. And you know what? Let me add everyone's name. Let me just add everyone's name here. So we'll have here Raya, right? We'll have Raya here, and then big up Brushman in the chat. Big up, bro. Long time, man. Long time. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I say how you do. No, I'm so joked. How you doing? As if you're gonna reply like I can even hear you. But yeah, let me just do the tactic board here quickly, and then you add Gabriel in here so everyone can see what kind of players I'm talking about. We've got Lewis Skelly in here. Bang. And then let me put Party in here. Even though we're signing Zubimendi, I do expect Party to start the season. Like, I don't see Zubimendi breaking in straight away. You know, it might take him a minute. Obviously, you have Declan Rice here, and then typically you'd have Odegaard in here. So this is just a typical Arteta, you know, way of playing. And then let me just bang Timber, Ben White. You want to pick Saka in here, but as I said, Saka a lot of the time, man, he's here, and then obviously you got even Timber. Timber's sometimes here. So normally it's more like this. Normally, I would say it's more like this. The typical Arteta way of playing, right? And it's very, you know what it is? This actually, let's talk about this, the way Arteta plays. And you have Havertz in here as well, right? So this would be Arsenal's team. Even with the signings we've made, right? Zubimendi, Sesko potentially. If we sign another winger, left winger, right winger, we'll see. Even with all of our signings, potentially we're going to be playing like this sort of way. You know what I mean? But the funny thing is, when I look at how isolated our wingers are, yeah, obviously the job they do, sadness. They've got to be high and wide, and then when we lose the ball, obviously everyone goes into the defensive shape and they're running back, and then Saka's running back, and you see the heat maps of Saka, and it's like Jeremy Frimpong, man. I'm telling you, it's disgusting. One of his heat maps? Saka is not a winger. It is a wing back. Him and Martinelli, they basically play wing back for Arsenal, man, with the amount of running they have to get through, right? But I look at this, and if I see this next season, which is likely even with our signings, this is not an improvement. How is this going to help us win the league, man? How is this going to help us win the league? Big up Brushman says, look, I'm not bad. United decide, listen, United, man, you got Cunha. Be happy. I'm seeing Højlund. He's looking amazing, man, in Malaysia, man. Got a top striker there. I think you should keep him, give him a 10-year deal, and, you know, with a further 5-year extension, and I think you're good to go, bro. Him and Cunha, Ahmad as well. And Garnacho, I think Garnacho, you can listen, you can let him go, no problem. You can let him go, but you don't even need a replacement, man. You're good. You find someone. You got Cheeto. Remember, you got Cheeto. You took him from our academy, top player, man. You got Cheeto, Hoyland. You man will enjoy it. But yeah, man. Jokes aside about them lot. Yeah. So anyway, Arsenal Football Club. You look at this system and the way we play, right? This is not good football. Number one, there's many reasons this is a bit. It's just like, okay, first of all, Havertz is not good. Yeah, we need to get this out here. If you rate Havertz, there's people that rate Havertz because they love Arteta, so they want to tell me Havertz is this amazing player. He's not. Marino is better than him up front. So if I had a choice between Marino and Havertz, I'm playing Marino, right? Second of all, with this sort of system, Declan Rice, as much as I love him, right, he's a top player. But imagine if you put someone like a Xavi Simons in there or an Eze, and then you bring Rice like back here where Party is, and you're able to have someone who's really able to do stuff in the half turn, able to really excel in those sort of situations because they're that type of player. Declan Rice is an amazing midfielder. For me, I've called him the best midfielder in the world at times, right? Because if you play him, he can do anything. He can score goals, he can attack, he can defend, his recovery challenges. He's a complete player. So that's why Arteta just feels like, you know what, I could put Rice in there and he'll do a job. But really and truly, Rice, he's so good. If he doesn't even, in most games, we don't need to have Partey and Rice playing at the same time if we had a top player on this side, assuming that we're playing this sort of system, right? Which is a typical system. Lewis Skelly obviously in here, and Lewis Skelly starting off so many attacks. His passes into these areas where Rice makes a run or Martinez, his weight of pass is absolutely unbelievable, right? So Lewis Skelly is always there to help the team and do a job there. But again, even with this is now I'm getting concerned, to be honest. Now that I think about it more, this is where it gets concerning, because even with any of our signings, any of the players we're linked to, Zubimendi obviously done, as I said, Sesko, Joan Garcia, I'm seeing more links to him in goal. But again, you're not going to come in and dislodge Raya, no matter how good he is. You're not going to come and do that in a season, right? Maybe 2-3 years, he gets his first team position. I don't really see him coming in, us changing goalkeeper again so quickly after, getting rid of Ramsdale in the first place, right? And Raya, anyway, he's more than good enough. So there's no issue there. But what signing are we actually making that's straight away improving our team, improving the way we play football? So this is already a bit of an issue, and this is without me even talking about how Sesko is even going to fit into all of this, right? And now you look at this situation now. Let's say we get Benjamin Sesko in, and now this is where it gets spooky. And this is where maybe we need to go and get a traditional left back, right? And let Lewis Skelly potentially be an option in midfield for us. But right now, I'm just going to assume Lewis Skelly's still there. Let's say we get Sesko, right? And Arteta, Havertz. I'm just assuming Havertz is this guy. All of the reports are saying Havertz is going to play. For me, it's like sometimes we're playing with 10 men. So where does Sesko end up if he's not on the bench? He ends up playing in Martinelli's position, right? He ends up playing here on the left, which I'm starting to think is a possibility, right? But Sesko on the left, did you see? We watched a little comp a few minutes ago. Yeah, he's a strong runner. Would be a problem maybe more in the middle, right? But if Havertz is there, this is the issue, guys. I'm telling you, Havertz is a bit of a headache because he's not good in midfield where he was meant to be good at. He's serviceable, and I say that very loosely up front because, as I said, Marino for me, better striker than Havertz, which is embarrassing, right? But regardless, Havertz is going to play. I can't, as long as Arteta is here, Havertz is this guy. He's going to have to die by the Havertz sword, so to speak. So Sesko, he's going to end up here on the left, right? And how the hell is he going to play here? Even before, when we were linked to Sesko, thinking, as I said, one of the first times we were linked to him in May, and we were talking, in the summer, bringing him in, and it's all about, Sesko. Arteta said, listen, you can play on the wing. Yeah, you can come and play on the wing. So what kind of football are we going to be watching? And I'll tell you what kind of football we're going to be watching if Sesko ends up on the wing. This is all it's going to be. Sesko will be coming here. He's thinking, listen, we're going to have to box crash. We're going to have to crash the box. Havertz is going to be in here thinking, just throw my body at it. Odegaard's going to be chilling in here, yeah? Or he's going to be in here. And all of our football, all of a sudden, right, it's going to be even more reliant on this guy here. Bukayo Saka. It's going to become even more reliant on this guy. Because once you have these two together at the same time, if we don't bring in a winger and we don't bring in that, attacking midfielder to maybe play in this position as well, right? This is an honest possibility where you have Sesko and Havertz. Sesko starts off from here, but he's really trying to come in. We've had it a few times as well. Remember when Lacazette and Aubameyang were, they were playing together, and we had always had issues. Like there were some games where Aubameyang would go out wide, and it's like Aubameyang's too good to go out wide, go up front, and he's not really a winger anyway. He's not got the tech. Let's say he's not got the tech to play out wide, right? Even though he was a top player, but he was a striker. Right, he's got the pace and all of that. Exactly like a Sesko kind of. He's got the pace. You can get him behind, but yeah, he's not a winger. You got to get him up front. So Aubameyang used to just always he's just coming in here. He's just cutting. He's trying to cut in the whole time. Him and Lacazette kind of stepping on each other's toes. And the only time that sort of time it worked, where you had these two up front and pretend obviously Sesko and Havertz, Aubameyang and Laka, was when I said like when they played three at the back. In the Europa League run, we were doing all right. We got them more close to each other. It wasn't that deep, them two being there because of the system at the time. And you look at the teams like Inter Milan, you look at teams like Brentford that play two up front a lot of the times. Three at the back is normally the way to play two strikers together, right? But obviously, we're not going to be playing three at the back like that, right? We're not going to be playing Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. We don't have blind wing backs. As good as Lewis Skelly is, all of his best attributes are all here because he's a midfielder. He's not a left back, right? So maybe we do need to get like Liverpool now. They're going for Gyokeres. Maybe we need to be going for Gyokeres. Maybe we need to be, because if you're signing Sesko, I'm telling you now, he's going to try and come here. Our football, I don't know if I can put the football here. Oh, it's brilliant. This app is brilliant. So yeah, I put the ball here, right? And this is where the ball's going to be half the time. It's going to go from Timber. It's going to go from the goalkeeper. It's going to go to Saliba, Timber, Partey. When Partey gets it, he's going to be coming back. And then it's going to come to Odegaard. It's going to come to Saka. And then when Saka has the ball, he's dribbling. He might have a bit of a Timber. He's doing a run. He could pass to him. He probably won't. Why is he not going to pass to him? He's going to cut inside. He's going to cross the ball. Ding. And he's going to try and get his head on it. That is the football. That is the only way I see us playing with this system. And this whole left-hand side here, with the Skelly and Rice and all of these guys, it's just sort of, they're not even there to really touch the ball. They're just going to be here to help us, in transition and win the ball back. And then again, whenever we get the ball back, come back, recycle here, give it to Saka. What can Saka do? Saka, do something magical. Boom. Okay, you can't do anything. Maybe. Okay, cross it in. Sesko, can you get your head in? Oh, he's missed. Oh, Havertz has missed. Oh, and then we go again. So right now, that's my worry. That is a sort of football that we can potentially see. I can't be positive. I can't be positive when I look at that and I see Sesko coming in. I see the reports of Kai Havertz he's gonna start the season regardless. Because if you sign Gyokeres, that meant that that just meant that Havertz is bench time. Gyokeres is not going on the wing. He ain't got the capacity for that. He's a striker. Right, but Sesko now, young player. Don't worry. One day you'll play up front for Arsenal. We will help you with your development. Start on the left for us. Start there for us, right? And again, we're gonna have the same issues over and over again, where we're just relying on Bukayo Saka delivering something magical for the team, right? Put in a good cross. That's impossible, for the header to not be on target. Do something by yourself. Right, the pressure on Saka still is too much. It's too much, and I just don't see how right now with the signings that we've made, Zubimendi, Sesko potentially. I just don't see how this is going to help the team. Honestly, I just don't see. The more I think about it, the worse I feel. Sometimes, as I said, you can watch the comp as we did earlier, and you're like, yeah, Sesko. He's looking like a bit of a player. He looks like a bit of a baller. He looks like he's got a bit something about him. Obviously, now that's me just putting away we should have, signed someone in January. Watkins, Sesko, bring someone in. Don't throw away a whole season just to come and bring Sesko. Forget all of that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about now. You're bringing in a player. But when you bring in a player of that sort of value of money, I should feel straight away that, yeah, this guy is better than what we've got. He's someone who's going to come in and dislodge the Kai Havertz, from the striker position. He's gonna come in and cause a new element of the team to be created. He's someone who's gonna, really change the dynamic of the team. But I just feel like Sesko, as good as he might be in the future, right now for the team, it just I don't know. It just for next season, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't do much. It just doesn't do much for us, unless obviously the window's just started, right, and we go and sign a winger. And I think now with Sesko signing especially, we need to get that Eze or that Xavi Simons. And as I said, potentially now, because of all of this, Lewis Skelly, I love him, and I think his future's in the midfield position. He's definitely one of our best players even now at his young age. But we probably do need to get a traditional attacking left back, someone who can go up and down like Kieran Tierney without obviously the injury problems. So that's like 5 players. That's Sesko, that's Ubamendi, that's a new winger, that's 3. Eze or Xavi Simons, that's 4 in a left back. So for me, I feel like we need them 5 players for Arteta to have enough options to actually change things up, despite obviously what I think about Mikel Arteta or whatever, right? I think we need those 5 players, but right now, I don't know. The reports are not looking, too promising on the winger side of things. Things seem to be quite is that even a word? That's not a word. Things seem to be obviously not talked about as much anymore, and I just don't know, man. I really just don't know for this team sometimes. I just feel it's just hard to have hope. That's all it is. It's just hard. I find it hard. Like, if you're an Arsenal fan right now and you have some sort of hope for next season, I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know how you can do it, man. Because I'm literally sitting here and I'm just thinking the only tactic that we've got going on here is Sesko potentially left wing. Havertz by force, he's gonna have to start. Pass to Saka. Timber gets it. Odegaard, okay. The party, okay. Get it to Saka. Okay, Saka's got it. Oh yes. Now something's gonna happen. Saka has the ball cross. Wherever the ball's gone, cross the ball. Oh, Sesko, that's it. Oh, it's a header. Yeah, we scored a goal. Like this, if that doesn't work, what happens next? What happens next? If that doesn't work, what happens next? Yeah. What if this whole, too much pressure on Saka again? What happens if he gets injured, like this season? Saka gets injured. We don't even have a title race. He played half bit against Real Madrid. Shock. Obviously, we managed to get the win over them, but that's just too much. It's just too much. And again, if we have the same issue, if we go into next season and I just look at the situation and I just see it's Saka again, it's Saka robust, it's Saka or nothing, I'm gonna be filled with very little hope, especially because of the tactic. This is the tactic. I'm not saying that these players are not bad. Timbers, like, look at our players. Like, these are good players. They're not bad players. But in terms of making the difference, right? In terms of tight games, in terms of semi-finals, finals, this tactic, bro, this is not cooking. This is not it, right? And it's very possible that we end up playing this sort of way next season. And I just can't be excited for that, man, for another year, man. Yeah, Lean saying, Arteta turning us into Stoke City. He wants 6'5" Peter Crouch up front. Bro, he wants 3 bags of cement in midfield and a big lump up front to cross to. He's just Sam Allardyce with a Spanish passport and a black wig. And Boss Guy here says, Sesko left wing. Bro, I don't know if you've been seeing the tactics that we've been talking about. I'm not sure if you've just jumped in. But as I said, Sesko left wing is a possibility. It's a possibility at Arsenal Football Club, because I'm not going to sit here and hope that, we're going to sign this amazing left winger. We're going to sign Mbeumo to help Bukayo Saka. I'm just going with what I've seen last season, the season before. I'm going with what I've seen in the past from Arsenal Football Club, from Mikel Arteta. And everything points to me that Havertz is going to start the season. We're going to be playing this defence, let's say, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly. Partey signed a new contract, or he's about to sign a new contract. Rice is going to be doing his box-to-box or whatever, trying to do something. Lewis Skelly is going to be inverted in here. He's going to be coming in, and we're going to have games where Arteta, if Martinelli's not cooking or Trossard is rarely cooking, it might be worse next season. Sesko is going to be playing on the left wing. As I said, Havertz, non-negotiable for Arteta, it seems, in terms of being a starter. And you just have a situation where Sesko, he's not a winger, he's a striker. He can run, he's athletic, he can jump, He's going to be doing his Mario Mandzukic, best impression of Mario Mandzukic, if you guys remember the way Juve had him playing years ago, as a wide target man. I don't even know what they ended up. What did they even call that position in the end, where Mandzukic was playing off the left, right? I feel like Arteta taps in. You know what? The most sick thing about Mikel Arteta, and I say sick in a bad way, he taps into the weirdest tactics. I'm pretty sure he was watching Mandzukic all of them years ago at Juve, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to create that to Arsenal one day. I'm going to do that, right? And his whole tactic now is going to be the same as always. Pass to Saka. Please, Saka, do something. Oh, Sesko, where are you? Run, 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 run. Oh, I'm Saka. I have the ball. Timber. Overlap. Okay. The little gap's been created. Whoop, cross it in. Bang. Header. Goal. Like, that is a tactic. That is a situation we're in right now, guys. Right? So if you guys can be positive about that, fair play. I cannot be. I cannot be positive about this tactic. This is not it for me. Do you know what I mean? My guy said, I'm surprised ISIS hasn't claimed Arteta yet. Listen, there's a lot of groups I think that need to claim this guy. Honestly, there's a lot of groups that need to claim this guy, man. Mikel Arteta, this football, it's a headache. It's a headache. That's all I'm going to say about him. But yeah, guys, let me see if there's any other news that I've missed or anything that we need to talk about in terms of Arsenal Football Club. But yeah, Gyokeres deal seems dead now, unfortunately. Let me just see if there's anything that I've missed. Gabriel Magalhães new deal. Obviously, Arsenal smart. They give us one weird news and then they give us one good news. But yeah, man, that's about it, man. That's about it for this stream. I think we'll call it there. For me, guys, man, it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard to be positive. Very hard, man. When you look at this tactical, let me go back to it. Let me go back to the tactic. When you look at potentially this sort of 11, right? As I said, the signings that we're making, obviously it's all messy right now. You know, when you look at the signings that we're making, Sesko, Zubamendi, who else on the left winger they're talking about? They're talking about Gittins, Nico Williams, Rodrigo. I don't know if we're going to sign a big winger, right? But so far, you look at the players that we're bringing in, there's even an argument none of them even start in the first place. But even if they do, let's say like a Sesko, because we spend a lot of money on him, where is he starting? Is he going to start up front? Is he going to straight away dislodge Havertz? Doesn't look like it. So he's going to end up on the left. We're going to end up playing Bukayo Saka, cross it in, hero ball. Please, Bukayo Saka, do something again. You know, this is it. So for me, very hard. We talked about it. Very hard for me to be positive. But as always, guys, man, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's kind of sad times at Arsenal in a way where it's hard to be positive. I think that's the worst thing. You know, it's always nice. Arsenal fans, we love being positive. We're always known to be deluded fan base, you know, because we're positive. You know, people say, oh, Arsenal fans, you're deluded. Oh, you always back your team. You're always this and you're always that, right? But I think we've reached a stage with Arsenal Football Club where it's becoming increasingly difficult to be positive. You know, there's a video still on my channel put out yesterday, I believe, about the overlap episode with Henri. And even, you know, the Arteta boys, man, his fanboys, his people, they're saying Henri's jealous of Arteta. They're saying Henri's jealous of Arteta. I don't understand. I don't understand. But go and watch that video after this one, if you want to see my thoughts on what Henri was saying yesterday as well. But man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one for us, guys. But you know what? As I said, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. More and more content coming, live streams, pre-records, clips, all sorts, right, guys? So there's a lot of content coming on here for the next, well, for however long. So guys, just keep on subscribing, keep on liking, tell a friend, keep growing, and yeah, the more content will flow that way. So yeah, guys, take care and God bless.